Welcome to FMA Talk Live. I'm your host, Datu Tim, and this is my phenomenal co-host.
Hey, PG Highs here. Welcome, everyone.
How is everyone doing today? How was your day, sir?
Good enough. Good enough. How about you?
Good enough? Crazy day, trying to get stuff together. Give everyone an update. So I started the month with 2,200 Facebook followers.
Right.
And we are now on May 6th. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday, so you still have time to send me a gift. I have 68,000 followers on Facebook alone. So 30,000. Instagram and Facebook are slower. Instagram is 14,000 up from 2,900. And I've only went from 1,000 to 2,700 on YouTube. But every day, more and more. And some of the posts are shocking me. Like some of them, like they start off real slow, and next thing you know, next day there's 10,000 views. I'm like, great,
nice.
So I had a little debacle where someone got twisted, and then some of our associates or ex-associates got them spun up, and I sort of handed the person a new one, and evidently that was enough because he pulled out all the posts.
Okay.
Right. So, whatever. I'm used to it. It's the same old nonsense, And Rich Parsons says hello.
Well, hey, Mr. Rich, long time no see.
And then, hey, Brian, how you doing? Brian Kanata.
Oh, nice, very good.
Hey, Brian, do you want to be on the show sometime? You kind of know martial arts, right? If you ever want to be on the show, let us know, sir. And then Sam Wolf. Hey,
Sam. Hey.
All right. So I'm going to bring on our guest. Now, for the record, when we bring our guest, we all have to play nice, except for me, because that's my job to bust his chops. That's my whole job, is to bust Lacava's chops. That is my meaning of life.
Your whole
job. And I've been doing it very good lately. So, all right. So with no further ado, a good friend of ours for quite some time, Chris Lacava. Bang. How you doing, sir?
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
I'm going to go like this. I'm going to make you the
There you go.
The creamy filling in the bar.
Sandwich now.
It's a sandwich.
God.
It's a show about him, right? Long time no see, Chris.
Long time no see, brother. Talk later. Yeah, great, Brian. Mr. Hiltz. Oh, here we go. Now, so this ties into a lot of things. So Hiltz is one of our people. Hiltz and Chris both do Filipino martial arts, but they also started, wait for it, Hapkido, which will be some of today's topic. So Hiltz is an amazing Canadian Hapkido practitioner. Of course, with the exchange rate, he just makes him normal down here. But in Canada, he's phenomenal. Actually, he's one of our guys. And Mr. Hiltz is really top-notch.
Is Chris not met Greg? Vice versa? Oh, you guys would love each other, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You don't remember the photo with the Karambit and Ted's head? I mean, Ty's head?
Yeah.
Having to get stitches? Yeah, that's nothing. That's entry-level stuff for when you're doing with Mr. Hiltz. Oh, wait a minute. I missed your names. Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, I know why your names aren't there. Okay, because we put that up there. All right.
There we go.
So real quick, hashtag Warrior Healer 8.
Yep, that's my
What happened to the other first 7? They didn't make it through?
It's too big.
Well, we went on a mission once, and I was the only sole survivor, but different. But much different because it was over to Walmart. But anyways, let's see. Boom. Francis Serrano. What's up, Chris?
What's this?
Nice.
And then Rich Parsons says hello.
So Rich.
Okay, now you can work with Chris like a set of bellows.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Now you can. Okay. Hapkido. Here we go. Are you in the stumps? Okay, so he saw action in Afghanistan, and one foot is a foot, and the other foot is a stump. And if I'm not mistaken, his tattoo on his foot is one big toenail.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, Brooks Long says hello.
Hi, Brooks.
Nelson Pinto says hello,
Nice.
brother Chris.
Brother.
Lisa King from Ohio, Sam's student. Yeah. And then Mark Wood.
Mark with a tattoo crew. Hello, sir.
Hey, Mark, there are 2 other people on the show. You could say hi to Tim and Ty for the record. You all could say that.
But
Nelson.
it's Chris's show. It's a show about Chris. There we go.
Oh, well, if that's the case, let me work this out. Okay, it was
Perfect. Oh, did he freeze? That broke the internet.
Lone Star Karate, self-defense. What's up?
Nice.
Do we know you all? Oh, you know him? And
yeah. Sean McNair.
Okay, and then what's up, Chris?
Brooks from Georgia.
And then
brother.
Brooks Long. Hi, Tim and Ty. See, someone got it. Someone got it right.
Hi, Tim and Ty.
So are some of these people, obviously you know, Chris, are some of them that you just saw recently or about to see on your tour?
Some of them, actually, I might see Brooks coming up in June when I go to the West Coast Gathering for Stockton Multi-Style. So hopefully he'll be there.
Cool.
Hey, don't worry about Mark. We like busting chops around here.
We're busting chops, Mark.
So this is a perfect show for Chris because he fits right in. So
exactly.
We have a no holds barred type situation. There is pretty much nothing off topic. Oh, my camera just went crazy. Although we won't talk about Chris's fans only page. That's just, we don't want to talk about that. We've talked about stuff. There is times when someone brought up a topic that we didn't want to go down the path, but we took a moment, explained it as PC as possible, and then next topic it, because some things are just some topics are emotionally charged. Everyone has triggers, and sometimes let's give you the PC answer, and then this is not the place for some other ones. So Gabe, hey guys, good to see you.
Gabe was on the show. Him and his wonderful wife.
Nelson says he will see you soon in 2 weeks, Chris.
Absolutely, brother.
Okay. So see, some of the things I already know the answer. So I can't answer. I can't ask a lot of the questions because I actually know a lot about your beginnings where Ty doesn't. And some of the answers ends up being my name, and I don't want it to sound like it's
all right, let's see what
like a good friend of ours is Jack Latour. Jack constantly talks about how I gave him a lot of opportunities. I don't want to have him on the show just to put him on and say Tim's giving me a lot of opportunities, because it just it gets old. We know I've given everyone an opportunity.
So should I just get it out of the way now? Because when we first started talking about why I was going to be here, was my tour, and so my tours are a bunch of seminars strung together, and I go throughout the United States teaching and all that kind of stuff. But just to get it out in the open right now, I do owe a lot to Tim, and and I'm glad to blast him out of the water.
Well, and another thing too is one of the reasons why he's on the show is I busted his chops.
Real quick, because I'm gonna get it out of the way, because I ain't saying it at all again tonight.
Okay, all right.
No, is that when I first started, doing the seminar circuit, Tim gave me a lot of information. He helped me out a lot. Some of the information I took and ran with it, and others I ignored because I was a moron. But at any rate, if it seriously, no BS, Tim helped me a lot to get to where I am today.
Well, actually, I think I met you the first time, Chris. Was that when you were teaching at one of the camps at Horizon?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Okay.
That was a good camp. I would be honest.
It was fun. Yeah.
Well, all the camps are good.
It was good because I met Ty.
There you
Oh, is that what it is?
That's the right answer. You're checking.
Had nothing to do with me, but that's okay. All right.
Tim, I already told you. I got it out of the way.
I know. You got it out of the way.
So actually, maybe that's a good lead-in for some of the background that people don't know, like could be me. I know you obviously, one of your previous, earlier arts was Hapkido. You're a well-accomplished Hapkido person. You've got a lot of training in EMS type stuff. And of course, now you've been on a tear doing your FMA love of Valhalla and all things related, right? So is there anything else? How did you start on all of that, I guess is the question.
How did I start in which part?
At the beginning.
The beginning.
So, right. Did you start with the EMS first, or were you a long time Hapkido person, et cetera, et
So
cetera?
I started martial arts first.
Okay.
You know, and some people have already heard this story. You know, I was bullied when I was a kid, and you know, I had anger management issues and whatnot. So when I used to watch Saturday morning Kung Fu theater and the Shaw Brothers movies, especially Five Deadly Venoms, holds a special place in my heart. So watching those movies, I went to, I was like, I wanted arts. My mother she came over straight from the boat from Germany. She's like, she's very blunt. You know, she's like, oh, hell no, we are not giving you a license to kill. You can't control yourself now. Now imagine we put skills in you, and then you're going to kick somebody's butt and you're going to kill them and blah, 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 whatever. So it wasn't until a friend of ours said, you know, it's probably exactly what he needs. You get him with the right instructor, he'll set him straight. So I'll be honest, if it wasn't for that guy, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because martial arts has helped me out dramatically on the type of man I am today.
Sure. And so
that was the first thing I did.
Was that was Hapkido or?
Actually, the first thing was Kempo.
Kempo. Okay.
I started Shaolin Kempo back in 1984.
Okay.
And then it just kind of grew from there. And from there, I've always just loved martial arts. So I didn't care what style it was, you know, good people, good training. I'm all about it back then and still even today, you know. So I trained primarily with Kempo. I did a little Taekwondo. I did a little Tai Chi, Yang style Tai Chi. And then I eventually got into Hapkido. And so then that just kind of from there. I ended up going and training in Korea. I went there back and forth to Korea, I was maybe 8 times. You know, so we would go there for a couple weeks and train, and then come back home and train here, which was awesome.
Nice.
And then from Hapkido, I ended up So let me back up. My first introduction to FMA was 1991, and I didn't even know what I was training in.
Sure.
But come to find out, it was modern Arnis. I was in a Kempo school, and it makes perfect sense, right? So I was in a Kempo school. We're doing sticks and knives and stuff like that, and they're calling stuff, you know, double Sinwali, single Sinwali, where they're doing, and all these terms that I remember, you know, even from back then. I'm training with you guys, and I'm training with other Arnis practitioners. I'm like, oh my God, you guys have the exact same terminology, but everybody else I train with got different terms, you know? So I'm like, wow, that makes sense that it was modern Arnis because of Remy, you know, doing the seminar circuit, and the Hapkido crews, the Kempo crews loved Remy. Right. You know, they like just took everything they could and then adapted it and made it their own, you know, the art within your art. So it really was no surprise when I was like, oh, it's modern Arnis. So that was my first introduction to it. And then I started, you know, having friends who were in Filipino martial arts. And I just played with them, you know. And it's one of those things where you're like, hey, I got to practice. Do this, this, and this so I can practice. I'm like, okay, sure. Right. And so I would do that, not knowing what I was doing. But eventually, I started knowing what I was doing, playing with more people, practicing more people. Then when I go to seminars, it was more comfortable. I may not have been good at the way people were doing it, you know, because every time you go to a seminar, everybody has a flavor, you know, everybody's got that different way of doing it, which is cool, you know. And so eventually, I had a martial arts school / acupuncture clinic, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, George Chaber, who's a very talented practitioner. He's one of Guru Dan's guys, Guru Dan and Santos guys. And I said, George, why don't you come teach at my school? He goes, why don't you teach it? And I was like, come on, don't stop busting my stones, because George is a big ball buster, right? So I asked, you know, he goes, dude, you're good. You just teach it, you know? By the time they get higher, you'll get higher and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't have any paper. He goes, don't worry about paper. It matters about your skills. And I was like, okay. but deep down, I couldn't really buy that. So I ended up going out and training with Rafi Derdarian. So I started training in a Santo blend. That's where I first really started and getting certification and stuff like that. And because Rafi's a great guy, I knew he wasn't going to just give me rank. I had to earn it. So I went with that, and all his guys were awesome. Norm and Chris and all those guys, they were awesome to help me out to start to develop my skills in Inasanto blend. And then from Inasanto blend, then I ended up teaching at one of Tim's conferences, and I met Michael Huron. So Leo Huron's son, and from Bahalanafing. So we hit it off. We had similar backgrounds. He martial artist, touring musician. Enjoys a scotch or two. We hit it off pretty well. So and I ended up training with Michael for quite a few years, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Then our paths kind of diverged, and then I started training with Stockton Multi-Style, and that's where I am today. And I got I graduated, which is kind of like your black belt in Stockton Multi-Style, and then I also went on to get my instructorship as well.
Awesome. Okay,
that's my martial arts in a background.
And where in that did you start picking up Eastern medicine and acupuncture and EMS and stuff? Where?
So that's a story.
Okay. So, do people know that one? Probably not.
Hold on, before you get into that,
let's
call a few people.
Oh yeah, a bunch of people came in.
We actually have we use StreamYard, and it's a really good platform, and we can see a lot of comments and stuff. So where some of the other platforms, a lot of them go missed, and we're really good about bringing everybody on board on this. So Chris Nally says hello.
Hey,
nice.
Hey, Chris. Brian Canada says, and Chris actually spars.
Yeah,
I know, because some of the sparring gear he bought from me at one time. 5 Deadly Venoms, my favorite. Yep.
Yeah.
The Golden Arms is up there too, though. That's
yeah. Yep.
Miguel Ruby says hello, everyone from West Coast. Tim Dobson from Canada, one of our guys.
Hello, sir.
And then Adam says hello from Toronto. Okay. Craig Mason from Sudbury. Good evening.
Great.
Terrell Richardson. I got a funny story to tell about that after the show. Okay. And then Maria Aquina says hello to all of us from Canada. Nice. And Joe
Kazugi.
Okay.
Hope you're enjoying Pennsylvania, bro. You're missed.
And then
Pete.
How's your head, Lacava?
So that's a story.
Okay, let's
right,
give me a
story. Real quick story. How's my head? So during my graduation, it gets hot and heavy, right? We're throwing in some heavy strikes. Mm-hmm. And he ended up clocking me with a backhand right on top of my head. And if you go to my Instagram page, Warrior Healer 8, if you go to that page, you can actually see the video of me getting clocked and getting knocked to the ground.
Okay. Oh, that's fine.
But you got to make sure you have the sound on, because you hear the on my head.
No blood.
Oh,
I didn't show the blood.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
A good friend of Ty's and I. Hold on, wait for it. Bobby Tabata says hello.
Hey!
How you doing, sir?
Maganda Gabi.
That's right.
And then
Sean Victor.
There we go.
Ireland Victor.
Nice.
Okay. Tell Ireland I said hi.
Okay. So you brought some things up. So let me ask you some questions about before we go down the path and stories about your internal. Since you brought up the graduation and the instructorship, now, obviously we're not asking for people to give up trade secrets, but there are a lot of different methods out there. And of course, you can complete a program and still have the rest of your life to master it. Fred Hunt says hello.
Hey, Fred.
Okay.
I miss you too, buddy.
Okay. So I'm gonna put you on mute when I deal with this. Here's the question. When you graduate,
yeah.
Okay, and not the procedure. how much material is after graduation? Is this a course that you complete? Or, I mean, okay, listen, so Bobby Tabuada's on here. His program has completion of the art and then FQI. Now, I've seen that Bobby has a huge depth of information that he can give the rest of his life, but the course itself kind of ends with that.
Right.
But then, like I said, you can go back and do more and more and more and more. So what's the difference? Do you graduate from the program, and then was there material or just teaching ability for you to do your instructorship? And it looks like you almost froze on us there. It looks like Chris froze a little. Okay.
Am I there?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if you're there, but you're here with us. So.
You're freezing sometimes, but it usually starts back up.
So the graduation, up to graduation, we have the material up to graduation is primary. I'm going to say 80% Bahalana, 80% Leo Haron material, right? Because all the guys that started this style, Stockton multi-style, were Leo's boys, you know?
Okay.
That's where they originally came from.
Okay.
So now that's say about 80%. Really, Tim? Really, is it that boring? Oh, sweet Lord. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But,
we got us. That's all we need.
Should I stop because he?
No, yeah. I just keep going.
ahead.
He can hear.
Oh, yeah. He's like, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So about 80% is.
So I've muted my microphone.
Good job.
I've been blowing up on social media.
Okay.
With all my reels. I don't know if you've seen any of them. And I've been trying to find a bunch of homes for people.
Okay.
People are looking for lessons and stuff. And one of the schools I'm trying to get more information from. So, and I only have a small window to talk to this person, which that's why I mute. And you're in good hands with Ty. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just stepping off screen. So people say, well, is he having a conniption? Is he talking to himself?
Tim's like,
did they mute him? He's like,
I'm done. Forget it.
So you can throw him off and actually call him during this, and he'd have to take the call.
Right?
There you go.
What?
No, people don't do that. Anyway. Anyway, please, do continue.
Hey Siri. Call Tim Hartman.
There you go.
Siri just went, huh?
Oh, you blocked him. You deleted that contact.
Hey Siri, call Tim Hartman. Oh, dang it. All right.
Siri did not answer, which is good.
No, Siri's like, don't do that. Don't. All right. We're not going to worry about that then.
Nope.
So we were saying about the curriculum. When you graduate, it's about 80% Leo Haron stuff. But there's also stuff from Serrata and De Quertis in there as well.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
Probably like 10% each. Then once you graduate, then there's more material to learn. And that's more what we have, SLD, Serrata, Largo, De Quertis, SLD.
Ah, okay.
And the guys trained through Dentoy Revlar for the SLD stuff. But once again, you know, all the guys, they get along with a whole lot of people. So we train with everybody, you know, we just love to train and hang out, you know. So the stuff afterwards, more SLD. You're going to see a lot more Spotty Daga. You're going to see more De Quertis. You're going to see a lot more of that. The instructor certification is part of that, but you don't have to be like super high level with the lock and block from Serrata and all that kind of stuff. The majority of it is to be able to pass the information of up to graduation, plus the background information about Leo, about Angel Cabales, about, you know, Gilbertinio, and that kind of information. You need to be able to have that information available as well, besides having a good teaching methodology to get the information to other people. Okay. So that's more of the instructor program. And to be honest, the graduation, the general graduation, so much harder than the instructor. The instructor test was like, I was actually nervous. I'm like, oh my God, is it going to be like graduation? But no, it was more about the functionality of how do you teach and do you know this information? So part of the certification testing was you ran mock classes.
Oh, okay, cool.
They give you a topic
Mhm.
and they say, teach this.
Okay.
Right? So you'll teach it to somebody who, a bunch of people that are there, and then they'll critique you and say, oh, this is good. Oh, you could have done this better. I would recommend you do this. So it's even though you're testing for your instructorship, you're still learning, but that's
Sure.
the way it is in life. You're always learning.
Right.
So,
Right.
So
Well,
that's really,
and teaching, developing instructors should be a part of an art. So that's great to hear. And presumably there's still stuff to work on, not only the training to get together like you do, but I'm sure there's plenty to do after you pass that last, that instructor cert.
oh, absolutely. There's so much stuff after graduation. It's not something to feel overwhelmed with. It's just something that, you can always get better with. And there's
Okay.
new information, how to use the old information and being able to apply it. Like, so with us, in the beginning, it was very Leo Haram. So very either Largo or Defundo, where we're in and we're just holding our ground and being able to block while staying in range, which is a very uncomfortable thing at first.
Mhm.
When you've got somebody going boom and like blasting through it, and
Right.
you're still in range to stop that. That's, to me, that was like, oh my God, I can actually do that.
Right.
Because we want to be out. Like if somebody swings at you full bore, you're like, hey, I'll go Largo. I'll be like, see ya, and take something for the road. But there are going to be times when you don't have that ability. You don't have that option to get out or to move in how you want. And sometimes you just stuck. So you got to deal with it. And that's, Bahalana, that term comes out to be come what may. It was the First and Second Filipino Infantry Regiment's battle call. That's what they said. That's the way it was. Come what may. And to me, my definition of that is I may not be able to control what's happening around me, but I'm going to make it through this. So that's pretty much what it means to me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's cool. I mean, that was the big question. And I figured like the instructorship thing would be more of a, hey, evaluate someone on the teaching, but there are two. It seems a lot of Filipino schools of thought is that this is the course, whatever that is, and then you graduate, and then not that there isn't more, but it's more getting better what you know,
refining and stuff like that.
Yeah. Where other systems, it's more like the traditional martial arts that are out there.
But you also got to remember where we're coming from. We have 3 separate styles in one. Yeah. So there is a boatload of information that we can draw from to learn.
So let me see here. Boom. Fred Hunt said, "Sorry, I missed you in Massachusetts."
I get it too.
Karen Faith.
Hey, there's Karen.
Dave said they need a school in Charlotte. Why don't you say this, Ty? Because in case it's something sexy towards Bobby, it's not going to.
Well, basically, yeah. It said good evening to Bobby, GM Bobby. That's the handsome, sexy GM Bobby.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're saying, not me. Chris Elliott says Serrata. From Rome, Eric Harris, Rome, Georgia.
Eric.
And then Maria Queen is laughing. Maria Queen.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why I had you say it and not this guy. And okay. So I stopped another story. So the other story was going to be on how you got into the internal arts. So, but I wanted to, since you opened up the testing and stuff like that. So Ty had asked you, how did you get into all the internal? You said, well, that's a story. And then I cut you off because you mentioned the time, the others,
I think getting hit in the head was a story.
Yeah, well, that was another story. But you said
that was another story.
That was another story.
The
and then we segued
that's not a big story. It's not a big story.
Well, it was the healing arts acupuncture. That's
Healing
Oh, here we go. Look at that.
That's the story. Yeah.
And here we go. Bobby Tawai says, "I love you, Ty."
Who doesn't love Ty?
Bobby? Yeah, that's right. Maybe my work folks. I'm not sure.
So getting into the Eastern healing arts, that actually, the quick answer is I had a pre-midlife crisis at 25. That's the quick answer.
Okay.
But the longer answer is I was a musician, you know, I was a professional musician. I was recording musician, a touring musician, and that's what I wanted to do with my life. You know, coming up through high school, there was no doubt in my mind what I wanted to do. So I loved writing, recording, performing music. That was my thing. And everybody was saying, "You'll never make it. Why do you bother?" And I'm just like, you know, it's like somebody's got to make it. Why not me?
Right.
And I was accomplishing a lot of stuff. So that kind of fired me up and kept going. But eventually I said to myself, well, what if I don't make it? Oh, that was the beginning of the end right there for my music.
Oh, okay.
You know, once that, you know, that undeniable drive, it's like, that's it. This is what I'm doing. Right. So once that happened, I was like, well, what do I want to do? I don't want a job. I want a career. I want something I can always get better at. So doing more soul searching, I'm like, well, I like helping people. I love medicine, but I don't necessarily want to be a doctor. I love martial arts and I love Eastern theory. So I started putting all that together and I was like, acupuncture. So that's how I got into acupuncture.
Okay. That makes sense. But no, I knew you played the instruments and stuff. Only other thing I was going to touch on real fast was, hey, we saw you recently, and we all taught together for FMA track at the New Hampshire, and I wanted to. We visited on how that went down, but I'd love to get your perspective for folks, just so say, hey, it's not just Tim and Ty liking the event and having fun sharing FMA, but how did that go for you? What were your thoughts?
So during this tour, I stopped and I had, various seminars going on. But the first weekend I was in Saratoga Martial Arts Festival.
True.
Right. FMA there. And the guys from Stockton came and trained there and taught a few classes. And then the following weekend, I met up with all y'all in New Hampshire at the Symposium, Terry Dow's event, which is a great event. It's, one of my top events every year that I like to hit. Both SMAP and Terry's have great FMA. If you enjoy FMA, definitely 2 events you definitely don't want to miss. The nice thing is that it's not just FMA. You've got all these other different martial arts. And the thing is that, and I've said this many times, probably in almost every interview when I start talking about martial art camps, I only go to the good camps. I don't go to the ones where it's like, I don't know, So you get that many martial artists together. You're usually guaranteed to get oh, your style's no good. You need to train with me in order to learn the real stuff. That's what you'll get, right? But you don't get those at the events that I go to. Like Symposium, you don't get that. The events that we go to, it's more like if that happens, because it's going to happen, those people never show up again.
Right.
Which is a good thing. It's like, it's a vibe, you go there, you have a great time training with people and creating memories with these people. And it's an amazing thing. So the Symposium, absolutely, originally you didn't see a lot of FMA in camps and whatnot, but now you're starting to see it, which is phenomenal, so I thought it went fantastic in New Hampshire. Absolutely. Terry puts on a hell of a gig.
Who did you teach with again? I think you had a couple sessions at least.
So I actually didn't. I actually had 2 solo classes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I taught Combate Adentro, which was from Stockton Multi-Style. It's infighting. And then I also taught a class on how to deal with the shank. That the guy grabs on you and just they start stabbing the living snot out of you. So I taught a class on that.
Okay, I thought I saw you working with Mr. Ryan Chamberlain too for a second there. So I got some pictures. You saw those, but that's what I was thinking. It was a multi thing, but you were teaching that. Okay.
Oh yeah, no. So what that is just me jumping in on a class.
Okay. Great.
That's the great things about these things. You jump in on classes. I learned so much from these things. So I may teach 2 classes, but I'll be training in 6 or 7 of them.
Yep.
So,
and speaking of which,
it was great training with Ryan. I enjoyed that.
Somebody who we saw there just popped in the comments, Carlito Bonjak.
Sir Carlito.
Hello, gentlemen, is what he says.
Hello, sir. It was good seeing you.
Yeah, that was the first time I met him. I heard so many things about him, and I finally got to meet him. What a nice guy.
Shh, don't tell him, but he's a really nice dude.
and skilled. It was really cool. Yeah.
The guys, all the multi-style guys, they love training with Carlito.
Sure.
Okay,
No, that was
they helped.
Maria
is
making comments about it. She loves our American accent.
American accent. America. They're not accents.
Terry Joven, hello from Stockton.
Nice.
Hey, what's up, brother?
So,
nice. I think that's all the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, okay, cool. What else did you want to ask there, Tim? Or because I got his background.
I'm good.
How's the tour going for you right now? You want to tell when did you start doing those tours? How did they evolve to where you are now? And then, how's it going?
So I started doing seminars maybe 2002, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, the springboard for it was a camp called Super Summer Seminars.
Okay, right. I've heard of that. Yep.
That is a big multi-discipline martial arts camp. They would bring in all the big dogs, big time martial artists and whatnot. And I don't know. I just got ballsy one time, and I called him up. I was like, hey, I called the guy who runs it. And I was like, hey, I saw the event online. I think it's awesome. And if you ever need another instructor, let me know. I would love to do it. I'm like, that was pretty ballsy. But he was very nice about it. He goes, cool. That was Master Campos, Mike Campos. And he goes, that's great. I love that. But we don't normally just bring people in that we don't know. And I was like, oh, okay. He goes, why don't you come to the camp, check it out, see if it's even something you like, because as we know, there's vibes, if you don't vibe, you're not going to really do well at camps, Right. So he said, come check it out, see if you like it. And I'll be honest, my guys will be checking you out, how I deal with other people, how I, how we get along and stuff like that. And the first year I went, I met people like Rafi Dardarian, I met Kevin Suggs, I met so many people, right? And that first year, afterwards I said, listen, I really appreciate it. Just coming to this event was awesome. It was even better than what I saw online. And he goes, well, that's very cool. Oh, I'd love to see you again next year. Didn't think anything of it. And then, months later, Master Campos, he gets back, he says to me, he goes, hey, my guys really enjoyed having you. Maybe you want to come teach a class. And I was like, really?
Nice.
So that was amazing for me. And because of Master Campos and because of Super Summer Seminars, I met a lot of people. And some of the people are even here online.
Okay, great.
People like Sean McNair from Texas. The reason why I go down to teach in Texas originally was because of Super Summer Seminars and meeting Sean and hanging out with Sean and having a beer with him and just chilling out and BSing and training, that whole just, creating sincere bonds with people.
Right, connection. Well, that's part of what we always stress, doing your work, right? That's getting out there and doing your work and sharing and getting, interactive, right? Both directions.
And so the thing is also you can't go into these things just with the oh, I need to make contact so I can build my whatever. If you do that, people catch on to that. And they're gonna be like, I ain't hiring him. He ain't coming to my school, But if you go in just to experience it and create sincere bonds with people, totally different story. I remember Sean saying, "Hey, you should come to my school." And at first I was like, yeah. Like thinking he was just BSing me, right? But a couple years later, we actually made it happen. But it's stuff like that where you build connection with people. And from there, I met Mark Cardona from Saratoga Martial Arts Festival. I met Stephen Perlman from Saratoga Martial Arts Festival. Mark also does the Rochester Martial Arts Festival. I met a whole bunch of other people who have other events, and they invited me to their events. So go to these events, have a good time, enjoy, and it just kind of compounds after that. As long as you're doing it in a sincere environment, you know, you're good to go. So
it's that natural geeking out together connection, because we all love our arts and we love the other cool stuff we see too.
Martial artists are the biggest geeks out there.
That's right.
We geek out about so much stuff. So there's a lot to bond about.
Yep, definitely.
Yep.
I guess Tim was asking about the Beat 'em and Treat 'em tour. I like that. Was that an event? And that's the whole tour though. That's a thing you do annually.
So yeah, I do it annually, and so down to Beat 'em and Treat 'em. Like, was that an event? It's actually every year I go on tour around the United States and I teach classes in defensive tactics and modern combatives. I also teach traditional martial arts. I teach on the other side. So that's the beat 'em side. And then on the treat 'em side is I do Eastern medicine classes. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, and I do classes on emergency medicine because I'm an EMT. I work EMS. So hence why all those things put together, it's beat 'em and treat 'em. So,
and you're good enough that you almost got me in trouble in the emergency room with the staples, right? Because you cleaned it up so well on site. They thought they had cleaned it up in the emergency room. And I had to warn them, like, wait, no, let's
no, you guys didn't touch it.
Exactly. So good stuff. I see that Mark Wood shared that you a flashback of a song that you wrote for your daughter.
Oh yeah, that's so Mark was part of Mark and the whole tattoo crew were part of my music days. So I would go to Korea every year, and one year it was the first year my daughter was born.
Wow.
So I wanted to leave them with a little something for them to listen to know that daddy's thinking of them.
Cool.
So that's the song that I wrote and did a video on. It's just an easy, quick video, but the song I wrote at my buddy's house, and he had a studio.
So Rich wants to know, are you still using the stick bag?
The black one that I keep my sticks in that I got from Tim? Is that the one?
Yeah, the backpack ones we had done in the Philippines.
Yeah, of course I am.
And then are you going to the Blade show? Are you going to the Blade? Chris wants to know, or Brian wants to know if you're going to the Blade show.
Yes, I'll be at Blade show. I'll be making an appearance at Williamson Copenhagen's booth. So that will be fun. And we're also we'll have the Demon Barber there. Actually, I think I'm
the Demon Barber.
Yeah. So the Demon Barber is a blade that Mikkel Williamson designed. Oh, not that one. He designed it because he had never seen any straight razors with a liner lock.
Okay.
So he was like, I went with him to Germany, to Iwa, which is like SHOT Show of Europe. So he goes, Chris, I have this knife. You have to see it, right? So here he's got this blade here. There.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, there we go. So it's a folding straight razor with a liner lock in it and a belt clip. And so he goes, oh, this is the Dragon. And I was like, and I looked at it, I was like, oh no, dude. That's the Demon Barber. He goes, oh, I like it. And he named it the Demon Barber. Nice. So I've got a special affinity to this knife. So, so Blade Show. Yes, I will be at Blade Show. I'll be at the Williamson Copenhagen booth, and definitely going to have some of these on hand.
Nice.
And is your son still crazy about the Taliban?
Oh yeah. We did. All right. So I was like, wait a minute. Oh, it's okay. It's Jose. So yes. So we'll do cutting at my house. We'll set up a whole bunch of different stuff. My son loves filling the water bottles, and we hang, we'll hang the rope and everything. He's all about it. He loves it.
Nice.
So thank you, brother. You made my son very happy.
And Brian Canada says he will see you on Saturday. I'm assuming of the Blade Show.
Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. I hope so, brother. I'm like, what the heck's this Saturday?
There's like 1 million people there. You probably see a lot of people.
Hey,
but
I love seeing a lot of people.
You'll see Ray Ginaldo will be there, and you'll see Doug Marcata. You'll see
Chris is
Chris
going
from
again.
Volpe's, he'll be there.
Yep.
Who?
He'll be there.
Chris from Volpe's.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll be there. Thinking
John
martial
from
artist.
Tack Knives will be there.
Ron Balicki. Ron Balicki will be there. He'll be in Cold Steel booth most likely.
Okay.
Oh, so funny thing about with Ron Balicki, right? I hear he's a very nice guy, right?
Well, he is. He just doesn't like you.
No. So I was at Blade Show one year, and I, being the dummy I am, I didn't realize who he was. And I'm hanging out with two of my buddies who are working the show, and I was like, dude, we got to get a picture together. So I grabbed the first dude I see. Who is it? Ron Balicki.
Right.
I go, would you mind taking a picture with me, a picture of us? He goes, yeah, sure, no problem. Right. Then come to find out, I'm like, oh my God, that was my buddies go, yo, do you know who that was? I was like, no. He goes, that's Ron Balicki. I went, oh my God, I'm a moron. I felt terrible. But he was the nicest guy. He was like, not even blink. He was like,
he is a nice guy.
So I was like, so if I ever see him again, I'd be like, dude, thank you. Can we take a picture together? He'll be like, no. No, I'm kidding.
It's pretty normal.
He was so cool. He was so cool about it.
Good. I mean, should be. He's a person too, right? And people are focused on, them and their friends. It's normal.
Yep. So, yeah, so Blade Show is going to be fun. We always have a good time at Blade Show.
Nice. I have never been. One of these days
you should go.
Well, no, you know what's at Blade shows?
What's that?
You know what's at Blade shows?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. No people.
Oh.
I will say, the belly song people annoy the hell out of me because they're flicking their blades near me, and I'm like, the first one that hits me with it, I'm gonna light their ass up, and I will just decapitate them. I mean, these kids are just so ignorant about it. I'm like, get the hell out of the way.
But a lot of them use trainers now. A lot of them are spinning around trainers.
It doesn't matter. Get over your corner. Play in the corner.
So I forgot what it was. One year I did an Instagram post about what kind of swag people should have. And then I had like the ballad song guys, and then the swag was going to be like Band-Aids.
Right. There you go.
Oh, because they were doing it right next to the first aid booth.
Where they need to be doing it. All right.
I was like, that's a good idea.
So Joe's driving in Thursday.
Okay, cool.
Blade show. And then Kurt does the salute.
The rubber chicken salute. Yep.
From
Kurt, am I going to meet you at Blade Show? Because I haven't.
He's Canadian. He's Canadian. I doubt he's coming to it. They don't let him across the border. Or he's in Alaska. Maybe he's in Alaska. I don't know. Take off my coat. Free pass to the gun show. Okay. Yeah, this is our local comic.
Oh, okay. When I take off my coat.
Free pass to the gun show.
Sun's out, guns out, baby.
Yeah. All right. Joe says, I remember kid cutting himself so bad his dad had to buy the knife.
At Blade Show.
In Alaska. Kurt's in Alaska. Okay, so.
Wow.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Is Kurt a Pikiti Tersha guy?
Kurt, are you PTK? It's too hard to keep tabs on what everyone does.
Fair enough.
Kind of. Sort of.
Alaska. His son is doing PTK.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, cool. And I actually did so I do some wood carvings, and my friend asked me to do a wood carving of his logo, the Alaskan PTK logo.
Okay.
Oh. Oh,
NSI
NSI and
oh, cool.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So I did that logo for him and I sent it up to him.
You did Chad's logo too.
Yeah, that was fun. He let me do what I want. He was
That
just
came
like,
up in the thread. Looked really nice. But I remember seeing it back in the day.
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Good stuff. Was that you said that was your first commission piece, I guess, for Chad?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because really, I just did that for peace of mind. Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. I think that's all the comments.
Yeah, we're pretty caught up. We've been staying on top of this.
Good.
Nice.
So what do you got going next besides the Blade Show?
So I got Blade Show. I'm going to be helping the guys, the Stockton multi-style guys, teach here when they come to Greenville. Academy March in Greenville. That's on May 25th. So I'll be helping those guys. And then May, June, the beginning of June is Blade Show. And then the end of June is the Stockton multi-style family gathering, where all the groups kind of get together. So we do one on the East Coast here in South Carolina, and then we do one on the West Coast as well.
Nice.
So, and I'm actually looking forward to the West Coast one because I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews because I'm doing a book. I'm writing a book on the origins of Stockton multi-style. So,
cool. Very nice.
A buddy of mine said, what's that?
Oh, Kurt said Jason Nardi.
That sounds familiar.
He's good people. So, yeah.
Cool. But so I'm writing a book on it, and I just got a lot of information. So there's a lot to the origins of Stockton multi-style, and I was just like, because it's not that long ago that it started. So I'm doing, the more research I do, the more in-depth stuff there is. I'm going down the rabbit hole. Cool. So cool. I'm looking to do a good book on like all the different sides of it, you know, not just, you know, straight from multi-style guys, but I'd love to talk to some of the original club guys, because the one thing I don't want this book to be is like a crap slinging book. That's not the goal of this. I want a good representation of what happened, why, what were people thinking, and that's really where I want it to be. I don't want it to be like, oh, this guy's dumb, or this guy sucks, or this guy did this and that. That's not the goal.
No, it makes sense.
I can talk to people from all the different, you know, factions of Bahala, and I'm going to be talking to people, you know, from Serrata. You know, I'm going to be talking to people from De Cuerdas, even guys who trained with Angel Cabales and guys who trained with Gilbert Tinio. So very pumped about that.
Nice. Well, I mean, I think it sounds like you want to explore the evolution and connections and leave the baggage elsewhere, which is great. Absolutely. I mean, that's where the real history is, right?
You know, a good history book doesn't tell you how to feel. You know, it just states the facts and go, this is what's there. Make of it what you will, you know? So.
Okay, here we go. Fred Hunt. Good to hear your voice, Chris. I have to head to the building to work. Nice to meet Tim and Ty. Both seem to be good guys. Okay. Take care.
Good to see you, Fred. Or good hearing from you. Thanks for being here, buddy.
And then the nice thing is all of our shows are on YouTube on our channel and stuff in there. Datu Tim or Tim Hartman. There's 2 channels with that out there because I lost my credentials and found it. And then Chris Chu says, hello. What's up?
What up?
Chris and Chris. Awesome.
Chris, what are you what's your new Instagram? The Nomad, the FMA Nomad or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So follow him around.
Did we get him the Liquid Death sponsorship yet?
Was he going for that?
He needs that sponsorship. He definitely needs that sponsorship.
Isn't that just water?
No, it is just water. That is correct.
Okay.
But they got great marketing. And I was like, water in a can? Really? And, you know, so we did one of the Carpool Kali talks. And in one of the previous one, he was with Jesse from FMA Pulse. And he's like, yeah, I've got a 12-pack in the back and da da da. And so I'm just thinking, okay, whatever. So when I do it, we're doing the carpool Kali, we're driving around talking, and I happen to look in the back and I went, son of a, you weren't kidding. And I pull out and he had like a 12-pack back there. I was like,
there you go.
All right then, brother. You deserve.
Yeah, that's Nomad _ our niece.
Nomad _ our niece.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm one of his followers.
There you go.
This is a new project.
Cool.
I mean, most of the stuff he's always put out underneath his father's banner.
Mhm.
So definitely follow that if you can. When you're not following Datu Hartman or Ty or even Warrior Healer 28.
Just 8.
28.
Put it on its side. It's an infinity sign.
Nice try. Someone tried that.
Oh, that's where we roll.
8's an 8. Infinity's infinity. They're different.
I like that.
So, well, that's another.
Knock it over. Be like,
that's an inside joke. So, but yeah. So, anyways, so that sounds like you got a lot of projects there.
Yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. But then again, when you have ADD like I do, you need them.
I think those kinds of things are more common. There's some sort of spectrum that most of us are on, probably. My wife accuses me all the time. But hey, I think interests and focus, right, is something great that martial arts and the training and the community can give you that help with those things.
I agree. I mean, if it wasn't for the martial arts, I said it before, I'll say it again, and a little bit different reason, but I am definitely a better person for being in the martial arts. I've learned a lot, especially as far as focus and concentration is concerned, and being able to deal with what may be a limitation and turning it into a positive, an asset.
And Joe has a good comment along those lines. Joe Kasugi, if we cannot be consumed by what we love, what's the point?
Right.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Meant to be lived. Go live it 100%.
Agreed.
Yep. But yeah, so we've asked you a bunch of questions. Is there anything that you wanted to take advantage of? And by the way, you should actually get I don't know what the issue number of this is, but you should get the number and the link, and you should, feel free to use it if you think it's a good interview. But is there anything you want to take advantage of and get the word out, or just things that you wanted to say or anything like that? This is a good venue for it.
Probably what I'm looking forward to do in the future, besides put that book out, is I'm looking to do. So in April, I did an East Coast tour. So I went, South Carolina, North Carolina, Delaware, went into New York and kind of like cruised around New York, and then went to North Carolina. Then I went to New Hampshire and then down to Salem, Massachusetts. So doing that, linking like that, I would also like to do that on going southern. So looking at Mississippi, looking at Tennessee, looking at Louisiana, looking at all of those areas. And what I'd like to do is go all the way to Texas, right? Nice. And hang out with Sean. That'll be like the far south in Texas, and then make my way back. So I'm looking for people along that path between South Carolina and say Houston, Texas. If anybody's interested in, seminar, whether it's a weekday or a weekend, let me know. Love to do it. Other than that, I really appreciate
Chris says he's got a lot of water for us. So
there you
go. Awesome.
But I actually, so you're going to sign, when I get that book, you're going to sign it for me?
You would like me to sign it? Absolutely.
Yep. All right, good.
I'll even give you some of my personally handmade art.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
That would be great. And sing me a song too.
Well, now you're pushing it.
Probably. Hey man, I gave you my blood, man.
Oh man. Awesome. So any other questions?
How about any of our viewers? Any
oh yeah. That's
any
what we
questions. So do you have a website?
Yes, we need to get that out there.
So I have a domain, but I don't have a website yet. I
Okay,
would
so that's
love
the
to be
negative.
able
But
to
in
do
the
that.
meantime, your Instagram's the way to go, right?
Correct. Instagram is
So
definitely the way to go. I do have
hashtag.
a web page. I'm sorry, I do have a YouTube channel. You know that you can look up Chris Lacava on that. That's primarily I've had that for a long time. So originally it was just me just putting just whatever I felt like on. So there was a lot of music on there. So,
Okay.
but primarily my YouTube page is martial arts, Eastern medicine, preparedness, that kind of stuff. And then I
listen,
also do have some music that I did from solo projects and original groups that I worked with. So you can see that on there as well.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of Chris, though,
If you want to get a hold of me, Instagram. So right down here,
Warrior Healer.
There, you'll see Warrior Healer 8. That's my Instagram handle.
Oh, and Nathan says hello.
And you're also on Facebook, right? So they can find you there.
Let me see. Here we go.
Facebook,
right? Yeah, you're on Facebook. Yeah.
Brooks says, "Nice show. I'll have to watch more. Thank you."
Nice.
Awesome.
Terry, great show. Got to go to work at the Screaming Lounge. I'm assuming he's drinking.
Well, he actually works there. So he works at the Escrimador Lounge.
Really?
So that's where we have our advanced training.
Okay. Nice. And
everyone that goes to Stockton should go to the Escrimador Lounge.
Okay.
If you do FMA, you should go to the Escrimador Lounge.
And then, of course, Chris Tony Tesaro.
Tony, what's up, buddy?
Welcome
to the big time.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, have we covered everything we wanted to cover there, Ty?
I think so. Got good background info. Some of that I didn't know, which is great. Got some visiting on other issues. Yeah. And we, find out more about the tours. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I had on my docket. Although It's always fun talking with Chris anyway. Had a good time visiting with you when we were out there together.
Absolutely. It's always great seeing you guys.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, no, I think we covered everything, and no other questions popped up. But it was really cool to see also all of the people, all your friends showing up and supporting, which is that's awesome. That's your connections, right? Are real and it matters, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I was getting nervous because I had a EMS shift today, so I had a 12-hour shift today, and I'm going, because it's very common to get held over in EMS.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh my God, what if I don't make it? What if I get held over? I'm going to be on a call and be like, I'll be on the, I'll be like in the ambulance and be like, hey guys, what's up?
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
That would have made it. That would have been interesting.
Yep. But worst comes to worst, we can always reschedule. We're pretty flexible as far as what needs to be done, or even starting a little bit late. We've done that a couple times. Not a problem. So.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
No, it's a pleasure for sure. I'm glad you could make it and put up with us.
Oh, shoot, you're easy. Tim's a little tough, but I mean, I can deal.
There you go.
He's got a thicker skin over the years.
There you go. We kept him mostly quiet, so.
Well, once again, I just I know all about his career, just a lot about it. So I was there, so it would be better to have someone else ask.
Yep.
So
that was good.
But you don't have any questions, Tim?
No, I think we covered everything. I mean, really, we got what you've been doing, what you're coming up. You got your book and all that other stuff. I mean, I think we're rocking and rolling here.
Nice. Awesome.
Let me see. Yeah, and then just once again, Instagram. That's the best way to find Chris. And you never know where he'll pop up.
Jose, we love you too, buddy.
Awesome. Very good.
You see it?
Yep, I see it. We love Chris.
We love you too.
Advanced training.
Brooks knows.
And you don't need to get hurt to see Chris.
You do not.
In fact, I think Chris prefers that, right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, okay. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
We're gonna put you in the back room for a minute.
Okay.
You want?
Yeah. We'll finish out if you hold on.
Yeah, we do a quick debrief afterwards.
Yeah,
got it.
Some guys got to go. Other guys, they got to go. But we'll just wrap up the show, and we'll be with you in a minute. You'll be able to hear everything.
Thank you,
So,
guys. Appreciate it. And
thank
thank
you,
you, everybody
Ron.
that stopped in to watch this.
Yeah, way to go, folks. That was really cool.
Stay safe.
You too, brother.
All right. He looks too young. Is that him or his kid?
It's his kid.
Let's say he looks awfully young. Okay.
Well, Mark actually looks young too. He looks like the youngest Marine ever.
Okay. Cool. Oh, there we go.
Chris.
For Chris,
So
what is the name of the healing massage that you do? Quarter change and
So at one of Tim's camps, a lot of you guys know about some shoulder issues going on and whatnot. So he asked me if there's anything I could do for the shoulder. So I ended up treating him using gua sha. That's the name of it. It's gua sha. Right there, you can pronounce it a little bit differently, but bottom line, GUASHA. It's a technique used all around the world.
It's like scraping, right?
It's a frictioning technique.
Yeah.
You put a little lubricant on the skin, then you take a tool and you. My father actually said, "Hey, Grandma used to do that in Italy, right? And she used to take a coin and just go right. And what that does is increase circulation within the area to get blood flow in and out of the area."
And Chris knows all about lubrication.
No, but that's one of the things. Not that people should hit you up about it, but you're always so giving and helpful. If people are having a little thing, you'd rather help them. If you're there all doing martial arts, you're happy to help as long as it doesn't get in the way of what you're doing, and you're so gracious about it. I'm not throwing you out there that everybody needs to seek you out, but just know that he's a good guy.
It's cool.
But you know what I'm trying to say here is because some people, try to avoid that. Other people, make a deal of it. You just do the right thing, and you're nice about it. It's awesome.
Hey, if I can, that's why I got into it. If I can help out, I will. And actually, if you go to Warrior Healer 8, look at me actually like really promoting it. So if you go to my Instagram channel, I actually have a short story about a guy who asked about treating something. It's about being a martial artist and acupuncturist. So check that out. It's an interesting story that I was not expecting when he asked me.
Well, that's a good teaser. That's
all right. Well, Chris,
perfect way to end it.
Thanks for being on, and we'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Go.
Take it easy.
All right. So, that was fun.
That was fun. A good visit. He's good to hang with. In person too, everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we have a lot of fun busting each other's chops, talking smack. So
it's part of those bonds.
There it is. So I don't have a show for next week planned.
No. Next weekend is Mother's Day weekend.
That's the weekend, so
right. So Sunday shouldn't affect the show, but yeah, I don't have any. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
I'll think of something. I'll bounce an idea off you tomorrow or whatever.
Sure.
Or I will just make a decision, unless you come up with a good one. Then just is that. And by all means, if and then if Brian, you're still watching. And you want to be on the show next week, we can easily put you on there.
There you go.
That'd be a fun show, I think. And then I know Dean wants to have us on a show. Talk about the camp and the support and all that other stuff.
GM Dan.
Oh, hey.
How you doing, sir?
Getting off work, listening to his drive home. Good to see everyone. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll come up with something. There's a couple of topics we were talking about. I got to write them down more often. So what do you got coming up? Anything? You're not doing your spring thing.
Yeah, that goes combined, right?
Okay, and good that Dan is doing well. Excellent. You where are you going to be going next?
I just said something to me. Right. Well, I just said So we got. Chad Camp's coming up in the end of June, but before that, there's you've got something coming up. Then I'll probably dial into that. But yeah, that's the first thing I got coming up is the.
I got a
Saturday.
I got a Balintawak thing.
Right.
Oh shoot! I do have a problem.
Collision. So, I've had like three or four collisions this year already, and one of them is during Chad Camp.
I am doing the Balintawak thing yet. The movie I'm doing fight choreography, they're doing a lot of green screen work at my location this weekend.
Okay.
So it might be people. We'll still do it. We'll just I'll have to talk to Adam about it and go, hey, you got to talk to you. Eric says hello.
And then after the end of June and
Show
July,
Mom.
we've got the
do a show mom of our niece. Okay, there we go.
there you go. And then July, that's more things like this.
We have the CLAC camp coming up.
Camp. Yep.
And
then it goes into August.
Philippines.
Yep.
Oh, and then the second week of November is the Massachusetts Modernities camp. I talked to May the other day.
Oh, it is the second weekend in November. Okay.
She's actually tomorrow. She flies to the Philippines, surprising her mom for her 90th birthday.
Oh, nice.
So
hopefully your mom's not watching the show, right? You don't want to have to answer to May, right?
Yeah. So that's the weekend, the 9th and 10th in November. So we got a bunch of things going on. So, but all right. Well, listen, there's always stuff to go on. I will come up with a show next week. Brian, even if I announce something and you want to be on next week, Brian, just let us know. We'll make that happen. Because our topics are fluid unless it's not fluid if it's a person coming on. Oh, thanks, Brian. Says good show. So maybe that's we'll talk about that. So datutim@gmail.com is the way to get a hold of me. And I'm doing my second video shoot on Friday for my social media stuff. That's going to be interesting. I have to shoot another 40 videos.
Nice.
In 3 hours. I got some good ones. I got some real
right. Good. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, listen. I got nothing. So let's wrap this up. We'll talk to Chris, be brief. Then I got a couple things to inform you about, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Sounds good.
Listen, this is always a pleasure. I always have a blast with my brother here. So let me get the right thing up here so I can do this all right. So this is Dr. Tim.
PG Tye. Thanks, everyone.
Everyone stay safe and stay sane.